Okay, MiningClips here at the Silver and Gold Summit in San Francisco, and I've got David Morgan from the Morgan Report. Good to see you, David.
Rob, thanks for having me.
Normally I'd talk to you about silver, and I can say that it was a lot more fun going to the Davenport Hotel by our houses than down here. But I caught to the tail end of a chat you were given here about gold and technology. Why don't you break that down for us?
Well, my speech was about how technology is changing the mining sector. And if you go back several years, as I've got a few gray hairs, Rob, as you know, the premise about running out of silver, that story's been around for a long time. And in fact, it was in the 1970s and early 80s. And what happened was there was a big technology shift that caused a great deal more production to take place in the gold and silver sector. And that was cyanide heap leaching. And now we're seeing a technology shift in the mining sector again. And so I touched upon a few of those that are more significant in the mining industry. And I don't know too many people actually talking about that.
Yeah, so what are some of the big takeaways if we just caught a few minutes of that?
Well, for example, Hecla Mining, they're using a Wi-Fi technology, we all know what that is, into the mining industry. So basically we want to take it to scale it up. You're looking at driverless drills drilling on their own in a given sector. So what's that? More efficiency, a big safety issue that you don't have human beings sitting there when they're blasting something or drilling. And no vacations, no health insurance and all that stuff. We all know about robotics. So that's an example. Another one is, I forget the exact name of it, but they're an ore sorting machine. And this is one with a particular miner that I've talked about here at the conference. And you basically put what you perceive from a human perspective as high grade through the sorter, and it basically kicks off what's not good and keeps what is. Saves a lot of time and energy because you're getting through a process that takes a lot of time and energy and money, and you're eliminating a couple of steps. That's another technology change. I talked about a company that's there in Idaho by us that has the idea of using laser beams to mine. And this is would be a high-grade situation where you go in and you actually circle the vein and change the diameter as the vein narrows and expands, Very interesting concept. Proof of concept isn't there yet. I'm not recommending it, but my talk was about how technology has changed the mining sector. And then I went on to kind of the last half of the speech talking about this mobile mill, which is something that is a company that I have recommended to the Morgan Report members only, the paid members. And that worked out well, but we had some stock issues for a while. That's all behind us now. Stock's doing well. And the spinoff came from that company, and I tried to help as many people get involved as possible, and a lot of people, very few actually paid attention. But when I gave the speech in Australia, the stock doubled. A couple fund managers decided, man, this thing's real. And the stock doubled in 3 days. But anyway, still got a long ways to go. So this is the e-waste, electronic waste. And electronic waste is far more profitable than a average gold mine, or even an above average gold mine. When you're looking at 4, 5, 6 grams a ton, e-waste is a multiple of that, or even not only a double, it's like a tenfold. It's an order of magnitude better, or 2 orders of magnitude better. And so I showed those slides during my presentation and made the bold statement that I believe to be true, that this company will become one of the largest gold miners in the world without ever putting a shovel in the ground. That's how technology is changing mining. So in other words, by mining electronic waste with this technology and this reagent that's non-cyanide based, so you can use it in Argentina, you can use it in Montana, all these places that have outlawed cyanide, and precipitate out gold or almost any precious metal. And that's part of the story. And the other story is if you just look at the electronic waste side, not the mining side, you're in a situation where you're going to make the old expression, and I hate to use it, but it's true, money hand over fist. I mean, especially with this one company that I can't name at this time, that has vast inroads. It's a multi-billion dollar company conglomerate. They touch everything, especially on the gadget electronic side of the equation. So they can very easily say to like iPhone users worldwide, hey, come on in, exchange your iPhone, we'll give you, a piece of chocolate, give us your iPhone. So they're exchanging, I'm making a joke, but and so they're going to get a lot of people say, yeah, I want to be green. I don't want to throw my iPhone in my trash can. I want to, get a rebate or recycle. I need to recycle it, and I'm in favor of that. But what they don't know is that by recycling that into this e-waste situation, you're just giving away gold. Yeah.
How are these companies receptive to this type of new technology? They must love it.
Some are early adopters and some aren't. I mean, there's one 2 aisles over that's got the sorter going, Heckler, which is one of the best, NYSE silver companies. They're silver gold, but it's mostly a silver company still using the Wi-Fi technology. They're the only one I know of that's using that. And then you've got this company that I'm recommending that's using this e-waste, this reagent, and the mobile mill. So those are like two different companies. One's a mobile mill, and the other's this reagent that's non-cyanide based. It's inert. You could drink it if you wanted, not that you would. And then the reverse circulation drilling with the camera on it, that's a company here that's a very high-grade gold exploration company. We'll probably be recommending that in the Morgan report January, February of next year. I've got to go down there and put my boots on the ground and be absolutely convinced before I write it, as you know how I work. What else? Geez, there's one more and I can't even remember. But this, I'm open-minded, I'm always learning, and those are like 3 or 4 of the high points. RC drilling with the camera, ore sorters, Wi-Fi technology, the e-waste, non-cyanide, and the mobile mill. So that's like five high points.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the prices of metals here. Are you comfortable with these prices? What's your kind of outlook?
I'm okay. I mean, look, the stock market is the indicator more than the dollar for my work. And I don't want to argue with my, compatriots. I mean, yes, gold moves opposite the dollar, but it really moves opposite the stock market. And with stocks hitting all-time highs for really no rhyme or reason, and gold hanging around the $1,300 level, $1,250, I am not upset by that. What it tells me from an objective perspective is that gold's actually doing pretty well going against a very strong headwind of the stock market and the cryptos. So it's doing its job, I think. I think once you get that shift and it's recognized that stocks are overvalued and money's moving in, and by the way, real smart money's already moving into the sector. Most people don't know. I'll put on my macro hat for a second, Rob, look you in the eye and say, look, the ETF for base metals just hit a 4-year high, That is a great indicator for those that are paying attention that the bull market in metals is here, and it's just starting. Get on board. You want to get out of overvalued something, which is mostly equities, into undervalued something, which is the resource sector, and ride the next wave. So that's what I'm saying. I'm happy. I'm not happy, but I'm okay with the prices right now.
Considering all-time highs in the markets, I agree wholeheartedly. Okay, David Morgan, Morgan Report. Appreciate your time, David.
Rob, thanks so much.